I mean, that'd be like if you were like looking up a shoe review and then all of a sudden you just started like talking about Jesus.
I know. I feel like
what?
I've seen a couple of these type of YouTube videos.
They're like, before we talk about the Yeezus, let's talk about Jesus.
Let the hair just rock.
Just do. Bucket disapproves.
Bucket doesn't like my hair. That's something, Bucket. I can't control this hair. How dare you?
Yeah, I know. He's
gonna
like,
judge me for how I look, Bucket?
He's judging you. He can't hear you because I got headphones on, but he knows.
He knows he's in the wrong, and that's why he's voicing his opinion so loud.
Dude, it's so funny.
Want to make an argument.
Right. He's hilarious. I don't think he likes Travis Scott, which sorry. I was watching the Travis Scott documentary on Netflix today, and he kept every time they would do like a drop of like one of his songs, like they would it was weird too. Like I feel like either my TV sucks or the levels in the documentary weren't very good. But anytime there was audio, you could barely hear it, and I would turn it way up.
And then the music would hit, and it would blast.
Yeah, that's probably why. But he would just like start doing exactly what he just did, that like, and like running around the house and barking every time a song was playing. It was pretty entertaining. It was fun.
Sounds like it. That does sound pretty hilarious.
Like,
yeah, I haven't watched that yet. I watched the Epstein doc yesterday.
Oh, nice.
That was a bummer.
I think it's okay. And then now there's like another one about that creepy doctor guy from the gymnastics team. I saw the HBO one, and now there's a Netflix one. It's just so funny because my partner the other day, we went to watch something, and he's just like, let's watch something. I just don't want to watch anything rapey. And I was like, what? And he's like, all the things you have watched. And I'm like, oh my God. Because I watched like the Epstein one. I watched that one. I watched, and then I watched like 2 different R. Kelly ones.
God damn, dude. That's an overload.
I'm overloading it.
No, I did the Epstein. I watched the Epstein one. That's my quota of sadness for quite a while, honestly. It's a bleak time. I don't need extra sadness.
I don't want to talk about it.
I want to. They need to drop some more documentaries that are just happy. It's about like the life of flowers. Right. Well, it's like and the sun comes out and then they bloom. Like that's what I want to hear about. Honestly, I want to hear about the sun and flowers.
Yeah, the Travis Scott one's pretty good.
Okay.
I'm gonna give my hot take on it because I literally just finished watching it like 2 hours ago.
All right.
But and I think it's apparent because he's got some really cool shoe collabs.
Yeah.
They're actually honestly, of the shoe collabs, they're some of my favorites.
No, Travis, I definitely like some of his. I'm not the biggest fan of all of his, but there's a few of his that are really dope.
Like, I like some of his music too, but I feel like my hot take on his music is it just starts to kind of sound too much the same to me, especially as someone who like plays a little bit of the tiniest bit of music. Like, I'm not even an expert on it, but it's just like, it starts to feel like it's just kind of the same prominent sound in it, with like the other parts turned way down. And so I'm just like, it just is that like classic trap thing from like, he's from Houston, so it makes sense. That
I don't know. I really like his music.
I
get that it sounds.
I just can't listen to a ton of it.
I get that all the songs kind of sound a little similar, but I like the way they sound, so I kind of don't get. I'm that kind of person though. I find something I like and I'll listen to it to death.
I'm just saying, like, there's just I just can't listen to a whole album of it because it just felt like too much of like, and I guess I don't like the one song enough to listen to a whole album of it over and over.
Oh,
anyway, my hot take on it is I felt like it just didn't show much of who he was. Like, I would have, if I were to do it, I just felt like there was a lot of stuff that like they gloss over really quickly. And it felt like very fan service of people who know, but as someone like me who doesn't know that much, I wanted to hear the history. So like I found myself like looking stuff up. So like the Cactus Jack thing was like a nickname and it was his rapper name, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. And
I don't know. I haven't watched the documentary.
It was like his early rap name, and then he switched to Travis Scott, I think. But it wasn't clear. It was like this really quick line of someone said it, and then like they had a clip of him like being called it as a kid. Like his mom sang it to him or something like that. It was just like, there was a lot of that. It was just like a bunch of old footage, which was cool. But I would have liked to have had a little bit more information. And like maybe like titles of like who some of these people are. Like most documentaries have, where it's just like here's their name is like down on the corner. And then it says like their relation to him. And like I would have introduced his whole crew because he has a really cool crew of people. None of those. There's none of that. It's just like almost watching. I feel like it's like watching an Instagram feed of video footage of just that's just like kind of stitched together.
Like old concert footage, like just as his career took off, basically.
Yeah, and it, like there's titles of like the time jumps around, but for no real apparent reason.
Oh, weird.
And I just would have liked to have had interview. Like there's almost no interviews, and I would have liked to have had some interviews and some like talking head type situations over that footage. And like they kind of just show footage so many times that you start to kind of get it. It's a little implied, and I understand that from like an artistic standpoint, but like the way I was seeking the documentary was to learn more about this person. And I just felt like I didn't learn that much about him, you know?
Okay.
It just was a lot of just clips, like quick little clips of things. And it's like there's things that he could have had just like talked about and explained and like talked about the significance of different things of like, and then like they could have gone into like his collaborations, and there's like, they just show it. That's all they do. Like you just see him wearing the shoes. That's like a whole world of it. Like I was really interested in all those things. And like now I have to go and seek that out even more. He doesn't talk about his shoes at all. He's just like wearing them.
Oh, that's
a few
disappointing.
Times. There's
because I want to hear about his shoes.
And the experience of like each one that he collaborated with and like why he chose those. Like
exactly. Because I know like the 4's, that's because the Houston Oilers, that was Houston Oilers colors, right? That's why he chose that color, the blue for the
I don't know
that's why he chose the blue on his 4's. I don't know where all the brown colorways have come from.
Well, some of it's like I don't know. These are completely
I'm not
guessing.
really sure. I really don't know that much about Travis Scott. I like his hits. I listen to his music a lot, but I listen to like top 40 hip hop. I'm an idiot. I mean, like that's what I listen to.
The documentary really focuses on his like album about I just felt like there should have been little things of like that I had to go and research while I was watching the documentary to get those answers. And I feel like that's a sign of a bad documentary.
Because
that's fair. I was really interested I had to like pause it and like look stuff up because I was like, oh, what's this song? Because they like showed him working on a song. And I'm like, I don't know what album that's from. And I don't even know what song it is. And so I'm like trying to find what song it is. And then I'm like reading about that album. It's mostly about, it really hits a lot on his Astro World and like the significance of that. So there's all this footage of him at the old, so what did it, I'll just tell you what it is. It was a theme park in Houston that got torn down. I don't remember what year, like
a theme park called Astro World.
Called Astro World. And he would go there all the time and he loved it. And he liked roller coasters. I think they don't say any, like there's no like interview with him.
It seemed like the
roller
theme
coasters
park
are dope.
The theme park had a big impact on him as a child.
Yeah. They just showed footage of him, and then they showed some news footage about it getting torn down. And then it like it showed pictures of like how the things with like he did a festival called Astro World, and he got a bunch of like rides.
Yeah, I remember when he had the festival. I know he dropped the album called Astro World, and then he had the Astro World Festival. I don't remember if he did those at the same time or what.
It wasn't clear in the documentary either. It was just
I don't remember the timeline. I remember I listened to that album like the day it came out. and I was impressed with it. I thought it was really
I think
good.
he
I
did
still
the theme
listen
park
to
for the
quite a few
launch.
songs off that record.
I think he did for the launch of the album.
Okay, that would
the
make
release
sense.
of it. They did that, and he did a concert, and they there was just like a lot of things that they just. Oh, the concert was really cool though because it had a lot of like the tour that he did. From my understanding, it showed pieces of it where he had like different roller coaster elements of things that he would like stand on and sing and like go.
Oh, and
like,
he
this
would,
thing that like went up over them, and there's like a loop
I
and
remember
stuff.
he zoomed around the stage on various things, right?
They just show little clips of that. They don't talk about it at all. They don't talk about his artistic vision. All this stuff I really wanted to hear. I was just like, I want to hear the set designer that was like, yo, he came at me with this idea. He wanted roller coasters. I'd never done any of that before. Nobody's ever done that. I thought it was really cool. So we built this roller coaster. There's like a whole section. Dude, it could have been like a 17-part documentary. There were so many things. I was just like, I want to know more about this. So I'm on my phone researching it. Who's the set designer of this? And like, I'm having to pause it.
Was it a multi-episode thing, or was it just
it's like an hour
like
long.
an hour, just a documentary?
It would be like watching just like an Instagram feed of clips. Would be about as much information. Would probably have more because there's probably comments and like captions on each thing. I was just a little frustrated by it.
Yeah, no, that does sound
15-minute rant on.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I need to watch it. I still want to watch it.
Oh yeah, no, it's cool.
I'm curious.
It's not.
I'm a fan of Travis, so it'd be nice. It would be good of me to know something about him other than I like his music and his shoes are cool.
Right.
Like
the thing is I feel like with a documentary, you should be answering questions, not giving me more questions. You know, like a lot of times when I watch a documentary, I'm like, wow, I learned so many things.
I just learned things.
I just got a lot of homework. It's what happened when I watched this. I was getting overwhelmed with the amount of homework that I had, and I couldn't even finish all of it before we started recording. So I don't have all the information. But it did make me want. Okay. What's your favorite Travis Scott collab? Let's look it up. I know what mine is.
4's. I like his 4. That blue.
The blue
Jordan 4.
Okay, so we'll take a look at that. And
I like the color blocking on his Jordan 1 Low. I think his Jordan 1 Low is my second favorite, but his Jordan 4 is my favorite.
The 4. Okay, yeah. I know, with the Cactus Jack on the back. Yeah, these are sick with the speckled.
Yeah, no, they're super cool. And I remember
wings.
Those came out, and then a few months later, end of 2018.
I love
those came out sometime in 2018. I remember I thought about buying those.
Really?
Off of StockX toward the end of 2018. They were about $330.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And I was like, that's a little much. I kind of wanted them, but I was like, they're only 300. They might go down. I was incorrect.
Nope. They only went up.
Way up.
So it's let's see.
June 2018 they dropped. Okay, yeah. So I'm correct.
25.
I remember I was thinking right November, December 2018. I remember looking at those thinking, I kind of want those. But I was like, I don't need to spend fucking $350 on a pair of shoes right now. Should have done it.
Yep.
Live and learn.
Yeah, that's all right, man. But these would, if you own these, they would be my favorite pair of your shoes if you had them. My favorite is this one. It's on the homepage of. I just
6?
really like I'm
not a huge fan of the colorway on that. That
really
kind of drab green.
I love it.
It's not my favorite.
I love the pocket. I like that. I like the sort of like unfinished. I just really like this one. I love the Cactus Jack on the back. I'm curious if it has the Jumpman on the other shoe, but I don't know because that's what the 4's have.
Okay.
But this is my favorite Travis Scott. But it is also it's a toss up for me though because I do like the high, the Jordan 1.
Yeah.
With the reverse. And then I learned something new. He was not the first one.
You learned the same thing I learned from Brendan Schwab. Brendan Schaub.
On that thing, I was like.
On Full Size Run.
Yeah.
Brendan Schwab. See if we ever get him on the podcast now.
Right.
Anyway.
Nope. Someday, dude. like maybe like a week or two. We'll get them on.
Yeah. Oh, we're really blowing up.
This one, I like this one a lot too.
Yeah, but he was saying Dennis Rodman, right, had his Nike shoe with a backward swoosh back in the 90s.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the Jordan 1 Low, Travis Scott. I think that I like the color blocking better, where it's like brown, black with a white swoosh. I think I prefer that color blocking, but I definitely like the Jordan 1 High silhouette better than the Jordan 1 Low.
Yeah, I'm more of a fan of the silhouette, but yeah, I do like the color block. I would agree with you, but I still like the other one better, a little bit better. Yeah, that one's pretty sick. Oh, that's cool. I didn't notice that. Cactus Jack is behind on this one.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever been around a pair of those in person. I've just seen pictures of them. But I definitely like that color blocking right there. I think that's dope.
Yeah.
And that's a bad picture of it. I think that brown is actually a little more brown. This kind of looks gray almost in this.
Yeah. It's a little bit more of a brownish. Yeah. I mean, as a person who does photography for part of my living, it is so hard sometimes to get some colors to photograph.
Yeah, no,
like it is such a nightmare. Or like you have to just kind of at a certain point you got to just be like, all right, close enough, guys. Like the shoe that we're going to talk about today, there is, they look way better in person, I think. And I know, and I don't know what the other colors look like because they're all highlighter colors, and I think they're dope. You know what? I'll just
all right. Let's bring it out.
Let's bring it out. Today we're going to talk about my Jordan 4. Do I still have it? No, I'm not screen sharing. Cool. The Jordan 4 Flyknit 4's in, I think it's called electric blue or something. It's not electric blue. I was going to say Volt. Royal is what the color is on this one.
No, those are cool.
I'm very stoked on these. Comfort. So these are the most comfortable Jordans that I own for sure, because I have a wacky foot. So it's kind of perfect. I really like the clear parts, or like the ice parts. There's a few things I'm not the biggest fan of with these, but there's a lot of things that I like about them. I love the back is also that like sort of clear plastic, and then parts of the bottom are that like see-through, but not all of it. It's like this combination of like, it's like this part isn't see-through, but then this part is, and then this isn't.
Okay. What don't you like about them?
I don't love the leather inside of them. Just there's leather. They're all leather inside, and the leather sole on the bottom. It's just that your feet get a little warm for a Flyknit.
Okay.
You know, I would think that it would be more breathable. If it was leather outside too, this shoe would be so like way too warm.
Okay.
So sometimes my feet get like, I can't wear these on a super hot day necessarily because my feet just start to sweat a lot. I just thought that was an interesting choice to do the leather on the inside.
Yeah, I guess it's probably to give it some structure because the Flyknit doesn't really have any. And
yeah,
that was when you ordered those before you got them, I was like, how do they maintain like the shape? Because the Jordan, they have like such a distinctive shape and silhouette. I was like, how are they going to maintain that shape?
I think part of it is with like these pin things in the knit.
Yeah. I bet the leather though has something to do with it too.
I think you're right. It does give it
that.
And
like the toe box kind of has that. I feel like you need leather for that shape of a toe box.
There's no leather in the toe box though.
Oh really?
No.
No.
The leather
ends full of shit.
The leather ends like here and just kind of comes around to here.
So then it's breathable like mesh in the toe, just the knit.
Yeah.
Oh.
And like something I really like about this one is a lot of times with the 4's that I have, this part kind of pushes into my foot at first until you break them in. These first day, you're just like, boom.
Nice.
Just the way that part flexes is really nice. I just thought this was a really cool thing. This is my first Flyknit or knit shoe that I've ever gotten because I've tried a few different ones and they don't really fit my weird foot.
Yeah. Okay.
Typically.
Well, I think they're cool. I've seen you wear those in person, and they look way cooler. They look a lot better in person than they look in a picture.
Picture, video, they're brighter. It's like a slightly brighter.
They're a very bright, vibrant color.
And that's why now I want really all of them. Those yellow ones are going to be the hardest one.
There's 4 colorways, right?
Yeah.
There's like an orange, a blue, a green.
So there's orange,
the
royal, this one, Volt, which is the yellow,
green.
Yeah, it's that.
Yeah.
And then there's a red.
Okay.
The yellow was the most popular at first, but now they've kind of leveled out in popularity between the colors. This is the least popular color, but it's but honestly, and I'm not just saying this because of price, it did help me like actually make the decision to buy them, but it is my favorite of the colors. So I was very delighted when it was the cheapest one.
Yeah.
So let's see, these retailed at $220 originally. I'll just bring up the StockX one. So here it is on StockX. Something else that you can't see in these pictures is, so like this part here, not this part, but this part and this part, it's like, I think it's like white and then painted.
So
kind of like brush strokes in it.
Interesting. I wonder if the paint will wear off and then that part will be white. That might actually look kind of cool.
I was wondering the exact same thing, because like before this, I was sitting here staring at the shoe and I hadn't noticed it right away. And then I was like, are those like, I was like, whoa, it's like little brush strokes in there. So that could be.
Those could be cool to have customized. This could be a cool shoe to do a custom on.
Well, I was thinking about just painting these little parts black. I thought that would be kind of cool. Like where it's painted already, and just paint that black.
Yeah, all the plastic bits, like the wings. Sick. If you paint those wings black, that would look cool.
Yeah, so they just like pop off this thing. I was legit thinking about that. So I was like, I wonder, because I have a buddy who recently on Facebook posted a thing. He posted that. He's like, hey, I'm doing custom shoe painting. He's like one of these friends. I don't know if you have one of these friends, but he is constantly like, it's almost like the get rich quick kind of scheme friend, where they're just like, dude, you want to own your own business? You're like, I'm not getting into a pyramid scheme, buddy. Like, that's not happening. And he's rad, but he's constantly doing, they're not like get rich.
He's constantly got his new little side hustle.
Yeah, he's all about. He's always got like 3 side hustles going, and he's always like trying to get.
I'm too lazy to do that shit. That's really all it is for me. Is it's like, man, I guess I could use my extra time to try to make little bits and pieces of money. But I mean, to be honest, bro, I'm lazy as shit. I don't want to do that.
I don't know if I should reveal this one part. Well, I haven't said the person's name or anything, and I won't.
Although if he's listening, they were
a very entrepreneurial drug dealer back in the day, and did very well for a while until it all fell apart. So he kind of applies that same style to all of these things, and he crushes it. Like it is one of those. I've got a few friends that kind of went down these paths in their lives. Whether or not it's a good thing or not, they were like too good at it though. And both of them were like brilliant mathematicians in their head. And that was why they were able to do they could do like the kind of person that can do crazy long division in their head. And that's why they were so successful in the world of drugs, I guess, because it's like, I don't know, if you can do that, you can do deals fast. I don't know. And they're both smooth talkers and just
I think being smooth talking and just smart in general probably helps. I don't know. I've never dealt with any drugs, but like,
it was like good and bad. It was like the perfect thing to make them brilliant at doing that.
Because I feel like when you're selling drugs, I would imagine what you're trying to do is like explain why a person should spend this extra amount of money for drugs.
Right.
And try to make the most off of whatever you've got. I don't know.
And
I've watched like some gangster movies.
No, you know
I'm
what?
an idiot. I don't know
crazy,
anything.
and I'm not just saying this because of that, but it's like all the people that I've known that have gone through this, the two people that I have in mind, it was the same story as all of those like drug documentaries that you watch, where it's just like they're brilliant, and it's just like this awesome, very quick rise, and then it all comes toppling down with either like where, you know, they get caught because they get very like they're cautious and like really regimented and brilliant, and then eventually they start to slip up where they're like they think that they're invincible, and then they're not. You know, that seems to be the downfall in every one of those, where you get to a point of like power and control, and then you're like think you're invincible, and then it turns out, you know, like the DEA comes down on them, you know. It's like that kind of situation. Which That's is fair. Yeah. Anyway, what wow. Yeah. Point being, that friend in the quarantine has been painting shoes.
Nice.
And was like, I was looking at my shoes today, like I'm like, which ones would I maybe, because like I told you that idea that I had about I was like, what would a collab with my brand, Bearskin Underwear, bearskin.com, underwear available now.
Promo code size 10 in the comments.
Yeah, promo code size 10 for
we should start doing promo codes
off. I could literally.
You should definitely do a promo code for this. We can have a sponsor.
Size 10, but it feels like it should be 10% off.
It should definitely be 10% off.
I think it's going to be 10% off because it's 10. Yeah, so use size 10 at checkout for 10%
You don't
off.
want to be giving this shit away, no. They're fine underwears.
Yeah.
They got mesh, so your balls don't sweat.
Exactly. They're amazing.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
But I was thinking, like, what would a bearskin collab look like this morning? And then I was like, and then I came across that post that my friend was painting shoes, and I was like, oh my God, I should get a pair of like those Jordan 4's that are all white, like one of the metallic ones, and have him paint one of those, because it's like, it's all white leather. It's just tumbled leather. It's all white, so you could paint the whole thing. And I've been seeing a lot of really cool paintings on those. Or I've seen like a bunch of like, I saw on the green ones, the metallic green ones, I found like this like Yoshi inspired.
Oh, like a Super Mario.
Yeah. Dude, but it was like,
that sounds cool.
Super good. Like it was done really well with like little camo. It almost looked like a camouflage, but it was like Yoshi with like little dude, it was so good though. It didn't look like bad. Like, you know how some painting can just look really bad?
Painting can look awful. There are people that do a good job of it though. There's this LA guy that I follow called Kikasso. I follow him on Instagram. He does some cool stuff.
Okay.
I think he's got his own brand, like KO brand or something.
I did find, I'll bring them up. I meant to send them to you, but these Bape, like I wasn't sure if they were a collab or a painted. They were Bape Vans, and they were super sick. Like I definitely would rock these.
Yeah, you're a camo guy.
I am, but like these are sick. They have like, I don't know if I think that they are painted though. I'm not sure if
they just painted like that Bape camo on.
Yeah, so they are these ones here.
Oh
shoot.
With the shark
on Etsy, because I could only find them on Etsy, and I was like, I think that's sick. So I think what it is they painted this part, but this was already on there, but I'm not totally sure.
Or maybe Bape camo stencils. Like I think that's just a stencil so that you can
do it
yourself on some Vans.
Okay.
Yeah, you see, look at that. It's so that you can paint those designs. Because you can see the stripe going through the shoe.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's totally what that is.
I thought that
it still looks cool, though. I'm not mad at it.
I was like, I saw that on Instagram or something. I was like, oh, those are sick. I'd rock those.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Kind of a random thing. But yeah, now we're getting into those like levels of like, getting like starting to paint shoes, and then like as I was like thinking about that, I came across my friend's post about that and showed he had painted some of his shoes, which was rad. But I'm not gonna name drop them because I said the other stuff.
That's fair. That is fair.
And it's funny. So do you have any friends that ever do like get rich quick kind of schemes like that? Or like they're always doing something?
Not to that extent. No, most of my friends are more like they just have a couple hobbies they like.
Yeah.
For the most part.
I guess also
I'm trying to think about.
You didn't go to business school.
I did not go to business school. You're right.
I went to business school, so like entrepreneurship stuff to me is a little bit more common.
Yeah, I've had a number of friends, decide to get into bodybuilding. And then they post a shitload of things like once and then never again. So that's always hilarious.
I want to see all the supplements that they still have sitting in there.
I don't.
Just like creatine powders and
oh god. Good for them though, if it makes them feel good. Yeah, that's about it. Every now and then somebody gets really into Jesus. That's always a good time.
Or they just get way into religion where you're like, what happened?
I have watched a few friends like I've got a couple friends where like people I grew up with that were like grew up religious and then like they got out of it and then for whatever reason they sort of just stumbled right back in. Like they almost made it out.
Mm-hmm. Here's my thing with religion. I respect it. The thing, I'm not a religious person necessarily.
Yeah, me neither.
Spoiler alert. But I'm jealous of the certainty. That's the part.
Oh, I totally agree. Well, we're still in the midst of a global pandemic, and I have been wishing this whole time that I was deeply, deeply religious.
Right.
It's like the peace of mind that would come with being like, yeah, I ain't getting sick.
Yeah. Because God's on my team.
Yeah.
God likes my football team of my life.
Yeah, like that would be dope. Teams. That would be fantastic. I've been wishing that since the beginning of this quarantine.
Just
the rest of it, though, the rest of it's a pain in the ass. I didn't even grow up with it, but I was homeschooled. So like a lot of my friends were big into religion. A lot of my friends' families.
Fellow homeschoolers?
Big. Yes. Okay. Many of my fellow homeschoolers. There was a lot of religion in the community.
Yeah.
And it was just, I don't know. Every now and then they would rope me into some church activity and it was fucking awful every time. Remember I went to this damn youth group one time. My friend was like, oh, you got to come to youth group. It's so much fun. He kept saying that. And, I should have known that wasn't.
Oh, that sounds like something a youth group person would say.
Yeah, no, this kid was my age. We were maybe 14, 15 at the time. And so I finally...
What was the thing that got you to do it? That was like, what was the thing? You were like, free popsicles. Hell yeah, dude. Otter Pops.
I don't remember. I think he asked me to come to it and told me it was fun so many times that one night I didn't have an excuse. I was like,
yeah,
I didn't have a very good excuse. I was like, fuck it. And it worked out because it ended up being a weird one that like really turned me off of it. And so he couldn't and he could tell. And so he never even asked me again. It was perfect.
What do you mean by it was a weird one?
Oh, I'll explain the whole thing. With this, I'm just starting the story.
Just planting it. All right.
Given the TLDR, But so we get there. This is a Baptist church, and this is youth group. A lot of people in the 20 to 35 age range.
Okay.
Still at this youth group.
That's
arguably no longer youth.
Yeah, that's
their youth is quickly evaporating.
You've been drinking for a decade legally.
Oh, they hadn't been drinking. The Lord didn't permit such.
Oh, okay.
They hadn't been doing any adult activities whatsoever, but on paper shouldn't have been at a youth group. Anyhow, so we that was weird, I thought. I think we played fucking dodgeball or something stupid like that, like we were in middle school gym. And then we went into the church, the regular church room, where they have the service and all that, and they showed a movie. And this was a movie. The first half was about how it was a sin to be gay.
That's fun.
Yeah. And I wasn't gay, so I was like, nailed it so far. I'm batting 1,000 up in here. And then the second half of the movie was how it was also a sin to masturbate. I was like, well, shit, the ship had sailed for me on that one.
Do I just confess over here?
I was 14 or 15, and I was like, I was already an enthusiast, and it was, I was just like, well, I guess I'm going to hell if this is true. So
you're like,
fuck this. And I think it was just an awkward enough video. It was exactly what you think an hour-long hardcore Christian propaganda video about jerking off and being gay is. Anything you could think of that they would bring up as a talking point was there.
Can you just describe the video just like a little bit more? Was it like talking heads or like was it like a really poorly done play?
No, it was more like
hey,
old
Susie,
people.
What are you doing?
I think there were some
Johnny.
of those. There were some of those type of things, but it was a lot of stuff like, yeah, it was basically like when you masturbate at something or another. I don't remember their reasoning on that, but it was evil. It was a sin. Somehow it was a sin, and you would burn for it forever. I don't remember why it was a sin. I think just because you were happy, and that's not allowed. But it was uncomfortable for everyone, and I think after that he's like, well, he lost that fight just because I didn't even know. It's like, yeah, that was. I don't know about that. And he's like,
okay.
It's not always like that. You should come again. I was like, I might. But he never had, like, he knew I was like, all right, bro.
He was like, damn it. We should have done dodgeball and not the video. He might have come
we
back.
should just don't show a video. It was ridiculous hardcore Christian anti-gay and anti-jerking off propaganda. I love that it was split 50-50 between don't be gay and also don't jerk off.
I really like, I think it's so funny that well, I don't know, like all of in my life, like as a skateboarder, there was like one indoor park in you'll relate to this in Belgrade, Montana had
below grade
church. Belgrade is the suburb of
it's the suburb of Bozeman that's
Montana.
Looked down by all the fancy people in Bozeman.
It's like if a trailer park became a city.
It really is. It really is. And if we have listeners in Belgrade, which we don't because no one there can afford sneakers, they'll probably stop listening now. But
like,
sorry, move to Bozeman. Do better. Work harder. I know it's a pandemic. It's a hard economic situation. I might get laid off. Who knows? But still, work harder. Move up in the damn world. Fuck Belgrade.
That's fired.
Anyhow.
Hopefully. Yeah. So it was in Belgrade, Montana. There was, in the wintertime, it was the only indoor skate park. And it was like this church had like a giant, I want to say it was like a yurt or something, some temporary, structure over a basketball court that they turned into a skate park. And it was like this, it was called Skate Church. It's like a whole thing where they like, and the Kalispell, Montana Skate Church, they have a ramp that sucks to skate, but it's shaped like a cross. So there's
Kalispell, I would expect that in Kalispell more than in, because you grew up there, but the times that I've driven through Northwest Montana, the number of like Jesus signs, the big the Lord is coming and you will burn fucking signs that they got next to the damn freeway. You're just like, Jesus, bro, I was looking at a sunset. Take it easy.
Dude, my favorite
last night here
outside of
sunset was amazing. Dude, anyhow.
Outside of Helena, Montana, I gotta say, this is so hacky, but it is so brilliant. There is this huge sign, this billboard that's been up for years. When you're driving, I believe it's into Helena, Montana, which is the capital of Montana. There's like this thing that I don't even remember what it said, but it's like Jesus with his arms open and he's like looking up. And somebody went up there and tagged, "I caught a fish this big." And I just loved that so much. Like they tagged it like with blocked out letters over whatever it said before.
Like Jesus was holding his arms out, like, I caught a fish this big.
And it said, "I caught a fish this big."
What a pimp. I love whoever did that. That's my favorite person in Montana.
I pulled over and took a picture of it. I used to have an actual like print. Like, it took a black and white film photo of it. I don't know where it is.
Oh, that's amazing.
Amazing. It's so hacky, but so
I caught a
funny.
Fish this big. That's not hacky at all. That's
and it's
awesome.
Like so Montana too. Like, I feel like even people, like religious people in Montana, would think that was funny. Like,
yeah. There's the ones that go to the church with the anti-masturbation video. They'd be mad. But the chill ones,
but
the
like
majority
the
of people in Montana are gonna see that shit and they're gonna be like, "Yeah, it's funny."
That's really funny.
I ain't mad at that.
And like I can just see like the fisherman dads would be like, "That's fucking funny." Like, I don't like.
Yeah, the mom.
A couple
will be like,
Hail Marys to laugh at that shit.
Yeah.
The moms are upset.
Yeah. No, there's probably some Montana moms. That is just
right. Yeah. So let's see. Kalispell Skate Church had a cross-shaped skate park ramp.
Cross-shaped.
And I remember we were skating at one time, and one of the kids mentioned it or something like that, and we were standing on it on the other side, and I was like, it's an upside down cross right now from our perspective. And he was like. The kid was just like devastated and really quickly skated to the other side of the ramp. I thought that was
like
so
he
funny.
could only sit on one. He could only see the cross from one side. What's an upside down cross? Is that something to do with the devil?
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't go to enough youth groups.
So I'm gonna draw it real quick. It was a half pipe. I'm gonna really, and then it was like taller. See if we can.
So it was a half pipe.
A half pipe.
Was it two half pipes crossed over each other, sort of?
Two quarter pipes make a half pipe. Does that make sense? Because it's like half like of a circle is a half pipe, like a pipe cut in half.
Yeah. It's like you get the.
So it looked sort of like this, where there was like the ramp was taller in the middle on one side.
Oh, so that's why it looked like a cross.
Yeah, and they built it, and all the skate church kids were so proud of that. But then I was standing on this side with one of the kids. Top. Yeah, with one of the kids who was just like, "Yeah, this is shaped like they built it to look like a cross, like where Jesus died." And I was like, this is an upside down cross right now from our perspective. And the kid's mind was blown. And then he quickly skated to the other side of the ramp so that he could be on Jesus's side or whatever.
I'm still confused by that. Why it would be bad to see the cross upside down. Is that actually a thing?
Yeah. So like an upside down cross is like a antichrist.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Because like we also used to mess with, the reason I said that is because we also used to mess with those kids because they would draw giant like crosses on their skateboards. Mm-hmm. And we would mention about how like, they're like, if you ride it the other way, then it's an upside down cross. Right. Mm-hmm. And then they would just be like, "Oh no," like freaking out about it.
Yeah.
I just thought that was funny. It always like, you'd see them check their board, like when they were holding it and just standing, they'd like make sure that it was the correct way. It's such a silly thing. Dude, skate church is the weirdest thing. It's like,
it does sound weird. Do they play Christian propaganda in the area?
So sort of. So what they do at all the skate churches that I've been to, and the funny thing is I've been a full-blown adult at these with just pure kids. And it's just, I want to go skateboard in the wintertime in Montana where there's nowhere else to go.
And that's where you have to go.
So, and they're doing that on purpose because they know that they have you trapped. They have a monopoly on this. Because there's no other indoor parks. Because it's a terrible business model and it does not, no skate park can survive a summer. It just, the only indoor skate parks that are successful are like Tampa, like Austin, Texas, like places like that where it's like you got to skate indoors a lot.
Yeah, like all summer when it's 98 degrees and fucking 100% humidity.
in Montana, it's like just when there's snow on the ground currently.
So like 2
but
months
like
out
in
of the year.
town. So yeah, like significantly, 2 to 4 months, but
Yeah.
most of the year. And there's all these amazing free skate parks outside. So they can
so
never compete.
Yeah,
Like I'm not going to spend
fair.
$40 to go inside. Anyway, so I went to Belgrade. God, why was I? Oh, I was at skate church. And they always like, they started out, you get like 30 minutes of skate time. And then they close the park and everybody has to go through the service. They hand out skate church. It's a legit like chain or something. Like not merch, like little pamphlets. And then you go through and they read a passage.
Propaganda pamphlet.
Yeah. And they like try to like capture your email. I don't know.
Yeah, like they try to get you, to get you scared so that you join their church, right?
Yeah.
They freak out and tell you about various sins that you might be committing.
I always just thought it was so funny because it's me and my friends who are all, adults.
You guys are like 28 years old.
We'll ask questions of this poor youth leader.
Some poor youth pastor guy.
We're poking holes in their logic in this like, like this kid in high school that's like, yeah, I'm the skate church guy. And like,
oh God.
And then he's got these college kids that are like just having the funnest time, just
like
totally
what's
like
up, bro?
Pulling the rug out from underneath them with everything that he says, like by asking questions or like interjecting things with his logic.
Just harassing a youth pastor.
I feel bad, but I also, at the same time, it's just
quite
like,
blasphemous. No,
bro,
that's probably the main. That's probably the biggest sin you've ever committed.
Like if I'm going to hell, it's for participating in this.
Yeah. No, the gay thing isn't even gonna. That isn't even gonna come up. This is far more blasphemous.
Make a dent. That's not even gonna make a dent.
It won't make a dent. It's not a saying that's aged well.
I know.
But a saying that I still appreciate. I kind of want that saying. I'd like that.
I'm gonna keep using it just because there's so much involved. It's so bad.
I think we deserve that one.
Oh man. Yeah.
It was a good joke.
It
was a good catchphrase.
Solid.
Yeah.
Solid. But I just thought that was so funny when we'd go to those skate church things. And,
I'd never heard of that. But
and they'd go through
exactly like that youth group bullshit that I ended up at.
I mean, we did get kicked out and banned. I think we got banned. My friends got banned for doing it. We got banned from it because it's like mostly kids that go. And so they're like hoping it's like these troubled boys, I guess, like mostly.
Troubled boys.
Yeah. But it's very weird. There's like a lot of like weird church things that just like get interjected. Like we talked about in the last episode or we've talked about it before, but I just got a motorcycle. And so I watched a lot of YouTube videos, review videos, which first of all, come on guys, let's like change it up. Like, let's do some different stuff. Every single goddamn video for a motorcycle is just a dude with a GoPro, either it's looking forward or it's looking at them or it's cutting between the two. And they're just talking in their helmet. And doing whatever.
And is it like impossible to listen to?
It's just like I
just
wish they weren't all the same. No, the noise is fine, but it's just like every single one is the same, and a lot of them have like religious undertones to them.
Oh, wow.
Which I found so funny that there was, not only are they all doing the same style of shooting, they're like shooting it exactly the same. They're also all like, they'll like do the intro. They'll be like, all right, we're talking about the Honda Rebel 500 2019. This one's in orange, but first let's hear a passage from John 14. And then he like looks down and you can see like a Post-it note. He like reads it and then talks about the thing from, it's just like, oh buddy.
Wait, he just spends a couple minutes preaching? And just like in this passage, John talks about how
gets
Jesus
into the like, and then gets
like did this or that.
Yeah,
no, I'm really dumb about religion. I just never cared about it that much. I should learn more about it so I can make more fun of it. But it's like it feels hacky now to even make fun of religion. So
but it's like, I just feel like I'm getting I mean, that'd be like if you were like looking up a shoe review and then all of a sudden they just started like talking about Jesus.
I know. I feel like
what?
I've seen a couple of these type of YouTube videos.
They're like, before we talk about the Yeezus, let's talk about Jesus.
Yeah, so it's it's just like listening to a Kanye album, is what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Or like the further you get into his career, it's like all of a sudden turns into nothing but that.
Well, yeah.
Actually, that's what Kanye did. Is he just had a great career and then changed to this.
Here's my theory on it, because I actually have thought about this. I think that as you age, you need religion because you are looking for that certainty, like in your life, because there is so much uncertainty that you really do start to want to find some kind of certainty, to not be insane, I guess, and anxious all the time, but also just like, it's sort of like that search for meaning of life and for meaning and in things. And so then you just, like, a lot of people just gravitate towards religion in one capacity or another. Like, so for me, instead of like an organized church or religion, I prefer to, like, I don't know, read books about philosophy as well as like do meditation, like practice mindful meditation.
Yeah.
Which is like
spirituality.
So I guess I would say like I'm spiritual, but I am not like part of a specific religion.
Yeah.
I do remember where I stopped going to church. My mom was like, early on when I was younger, I would go to youth group or one of those things. My mom was sending me to that, and she was just like, yeah, it's just because like we're in Montana and you should probably do that.
Yeah, because it's a place where kids are, like people your age are.
And so, Sunday school. So I would go to Sunday school, and then at one point I poked a hole in, sort of like I did with my friends, but I was not an adult. I was a child, where I poked a hole in somebody's logic, and this poor kid did not know. Like, this was like, I don't know, like a middle school kid that was leading a bunch of like first graders, and what I remember, I don't remember what the thing was, but the question that I asked is, I was like, so because we lived on an Indian reservation, I was confused, because I was like, well, if you don't believe in this, then you go to hell. What if you didn't learn about it? So like there was like Native Americans, because I knew that they were there before white people, which was what organized religion was. And then I was like, if they didn't know about it, then they're going to hell. And they were like, yes. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. That was my first thing. And then my second part of that was, I was like, okay, but what if they didn't speak English and then they have their own language? If they have their own language, maybe their interpretation of what God is maybe just like their own language, like it's their own thing. And I got kicked out of youth group, and I was banned from it.
Damn, dude.
And I was like a little kid, and I remember like I'm pretty sure I told my dad about that, and he was just like, that's pretty good logic. Like, he's like, yeah,
your dad was probably impressed. He was probably.
He's like, dang, high fives me. Like,
did he?
The one time I ever impressed my dad. No. But yeah, that was my whole thing.
That is solid logic for a little kid. And I mean, all that shit doesn't make any fucking sense.
It was just like, well, what if like, because I was like, well, if they have a different word for like this thing, like a hand or just anything, like a glass, they have a different word. So why can't that just be like their interpretation of God? Like maybe they have a different word for God, and it's spirit, or it's like the wolf, or the whatever.
Yeah.
Now I'm sounding bad.
Spirit or the wolf.
Well, they always had like spirit animals. There was like the bear spirits, and like there's, so like I guess I was raised with a lot of education with Native American. Like we had to learn a lot of like I just remember in like
we did too.
Kindergarten learning God, now I can't think. Like, as it was on the Flathead Indian Reservation.
Oh yeah, you probably
Salish
learned more
and Kootenai. So like we would learn words in Salish, or we would learn different or we would learn like Kootenai things and some of their history. And like I remember like some of our required reading was like some of the like stories books from that, different ones. Like I remember reading a bunch of like Vision Quest things and stuff like that. I always thought that was cool. Anyway, also like a whole bunch of my classmates and were native, so it was like it didn't make sense to me. And then I found out later about how messed up it was when the white people did come there, and like that mission that we would go to on Sunday or on Good Sunday. What's that called? Easter?
Easter, yeah. Good
Special
Friday?
Sunday. The one Sunday that we would have to go to church. We would go to this like crazy mission with like, I mean, it has like painted ceilings and like all these cool things. And I don't know.
But did it have like a really horrible history?
Oh my God. So bad. Like so bad. Yeah. Like real terrible in St. Ignatius, because we were in when I was in
St. Ignatius. I've been to that town.
That was when I was living. My mom was in Ronan and my dad was in Polson. So
okay.
Talking about shout out to lots of
places
in Montana,
Northwest Montana.
That was fun. All right. So I'm gonna try to get back to the shoes.
Let's go back to the shoe. We might need to wrap this thing up pretty soon.
Would I buy these again? Absolutely. I actually have been thinking. I kind of want to try to collect all the colors. I mean, I'm gonna have to buy some pretty expensive shoes to get all of them.
What did you pay for those?
Yeah. So
I don't know if you went over.
I don't know if I did either. I think I paid let me look it up, because I didn't get it on StockX. So I got it on Goat because it was like a little bit cheaper, but then it took like a month to arrive. And I was like, well, I definitely bought some fake shoes. These would be super hard to fake, I feel like, of the shoes to get.
I don't know that those got hyped to the level that they would really make a lot of fakes of those.
Right. They wouldn't. Yeah. So I paid $150 for them.
Oh, okay.
So they retailed at $220 originally. I paid $150. And right now, if you were to get them in this size on StockX, they're $186 is like the lowest ask.
What do the other three colorways cost?
All right. So I feel like we should just all share the screen. It's interesting with these ones. They all like the prices that they show in the like samples. So like I probably get the red ones next. I think they're like the next cheapest ones you can get. So in size 10, $236 for the red. These I can't remember if it was these or the Volts that were the most popular up at the very beginning.
The Volts are definitely the most popular now.
They are. Hang on. I'm going to go to I'm going to open it under my account so we can look at the history of it, of that shoe. Like the price history, because I'm very interested in that. And I was not logged into my account. So, okay, cool. Jordan Flyknit. No, not Flint. Autocorrect. Flyknit. All right. Well, let's see. Boom. All right. So I got these ones back. Looks like when they first dropped last year, around now, they were pretty expensive. Well, they were $220, which I'm pretty sure from my research of the shoe before I was buying it, a lot of people didn't like that price point. That was a little too high.
Yeah, it kind of is.
I think that made it less popular. So like people were able to get these at like the Nike store and stuff. And that's going to drive the price down significantly. I thought that the red, I remember when I watched a bunch of review videos and everyone forecasted the red to be the most popular, and then it wasn't.
The Volt ended up being.
I'm pretty sure it was this one, so right now
that's
this one
the
is
one that's still way above retail.
Yeah, so this one's at
530.
Let's see. I was looking at the 10.
Oh,
so
350.
The 10.5. StockX is confused now on my size because
you ordered.
I ordered
those
some 10
Air Maxes that are
in a 10.5. These I am just dying to see in person, though. I
bet those look awesome in person,
dude. I wouldn't pay $530 for them, but I will probably be paying in the 300s for this, because to me this is like a really cool special shoe, and it's like, it's super fun and just crazy loud. And this one has been pretty. Well, looks like it's pretty high right now, but yeah, it's been in the 300s most of it.
Huh.
Damn, I went for 4, because this was around, in May. I was looking at them, they were going for 400, and I was like, I'm not.
And what's the orange one cost?
The orange ones, I feel like this one's going to be really popular. Let's see. Now
it says it's $350.
$350.
Is that just a weird thing because of the size, or are they all up? No, they're all
up there.
You think that's all because of Eric Andre's special?
I think that might have something to do with it, because and the funny thing is, like, even if you are watching it, you can't see on his tape like how loud these shoes really are.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you're right. They were bright in the special. I watched it yesterday, but they weren't like distractingly bright, at least in the video.
And you know what I like about this collection is it's like gettable. I feel like it feels achievable.
There's only 4, and they're not like $1,000 a piece,
right? And there isn't like one that's just like, oh, I gotta like really throw down on this one.
Yeah, so it's not like trying to collect like all the Off-White collabs,
right?
Where they're all like $800 and there's a fucking million of them,
right? Oh,
or like trying to get all the colorways of a Yeezy when there's a million colorways.
And right now, it also feels like I don't think they're gonna make any more.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that this is the only time they make those.
If
they do, like, this will be like the highlighter pack. Like, they'll make some, but they'll be all drab colors or something.
Yeah. There is also this one that if I'm getting the whole collection, I'm probably also going to get this one, because I do really want this 3.
one. Huh.
The only thing about this one it doesn't pop. There should have been accents. I think this would have done better if it had more accents on it.
I agree.
Because
they'd put the elephant print on it still.
Yeah,
made like a Flyknit black cement.
Dude, the elephant print is on there. You just have to look really close. It's just black on black.
Yeah, but if they made a black cement Flyknit,
oh my god,
people would have bought the hell out of it.
And it's like,
because it looks like a black cement.
But what I like about these is it does have that ice.
Sole.
That
outsole is cool. I like that.
And this would be one that would be cool to like throw like that orangish red Nike color on this part. I think would look so sick.
Oh, like the infrared?
Uh-huh. Yeah, put the infrared
that
on
would
there.
Look really cool.
That would look so good. And that would have sold. This would be like $1,000 shoe if they had done that.
I don't know if it'd be 1,000, but it would definitely be more than it is.
Yeah.
I think people would have.
I really looked for like, I don't know. I looked for like more information about these, and what always bothers me is it's like, I know that there was a choice and there's a story behind this. Why did they choose to do these super bright colors? Like, and I can't find that anywhere. That's the one thing that bums me out about Nike. I think it's because they don't, or about Jordan in general, Jordan brand stuff. I think they just don't have to, and most brands do. So sometimes it feels uninspired because I can't find that inspiration. I really wish I could find the inspiration about it.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I did a ton of research on these shoes, and I was just like, why? Why?
I wonder that about a lot of different Nike shoes, especially. Just why did they make this shoe?
What was the choice in this? It's like, like I want the story behind it. Like, I really enjoy that aspect of of shoes, because every shoe does tell a story, and there's a lot of stories in it.
Yeah, I think that's part of what makes Jordans so popular.
Yeah.
Like, they're cool and culturally, like, they're significant. But if you're like me and you weren't really part of the sneaker culture in any way and didn't pay attention to basketball or sports or whatever, like, it's cool that they just have the story behind them. And like, Michael Jordan was such a legendary dude. We saw the documentary. Like, yeah, it's cool. And it's like, oh yeah, and this was the first colorway that came out or whatever, and this is why they did this and this is why they did that. And
right.
Yeah, it's cool to have that story behind it. It makes the shoe more interesting.
I mean, even if they were just like, they needed a new thing for I forget what this was commemorating. It was commemorating something.
Okay.
It was like some celebration of like some significance. That's why they did 4 of them.
Okay.
Like, even if it was just like, yeah, we wanted something loud, and someone was like, what if we did a highlighter? We did all the highlighter colors of a 4, and we'll do 4 of them. And then they're like, oh, what color should we do? Well, obviously red, because we do red in everything. Like, even if it was just like, yeah, we were inspired by highlighters, and then we found out that we could do this Flyknit in this really bright, because it's a synthetic. I'm pretty sure that it's because it's a synthetic fiber that they can.
That's why they can get
achieve
that color.
These colors. Like, in my product, I cannot achieve these colors because I use bamboo fabric. So it's like, because this is like a nylon, it's a synthetic, you can really ramp up the color in it. And that is really cool.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that was like, I'm sure part of the inspiration was they were like, whoa, we can do those colors? Okay, what are the brightest colors? Well, red, obviously, we got to do red. And then, like when you're looking at the color palettes.
No, I do think they're unique. They're a unique set of shoes.
So yes, I would buy these again. And I also started with the cheapest one, because I really liked them, but I wanted to make sure that they were super comfortable. And like, as soon as I put them on, I was like, I'm gonna get all of them. But yeah, I want to get all 5, the 3, and then the 4 4s. I think that would be sick. All right, that was super fun, Nick.
Yeah, that was great.
Thank you, everybody. This has been Size 10, another episode. We will see you next week. Make sure and like and subscribe. Oh my God, I almost forgot.
Got to make sure to like and subscribe.
Yeah. All right. Bye.